So today's word is sleep versus asleep. Very common word. Sleep is a very common word, and asleep is also a common word. But for some of us or for some of you, you may not be aware of the word asleep if you are a beginner. But yes, I'll definitely add a lot of value in this particular, you know, presentation. And let's get surprised because maybe thinking, what is it we can learn from sleep? Sleep is a common word. It is. I don't think sleep is a great word in today's presentation. So let me surprise you with some nice common phrases. When you look at sleep as a word which is used as a phrase, you'll be surprised that it can be a part of our vocabulary. All right. So pronunciation wise, I don't think we have any difficulty. Sleep is simple. Whether US and UK, it is sleep. Asleep, we just need to add the sound so it becomes asleep. Now let's look at the meaning. So first of all, in terms of parts of speech, sleep can be used as a noun also. It can be used as a verb also. Now, people who hate grammar, people who are not aware of what a noun is, a verb is, it's perfectly fine. But if you have some awareness, it becomes easy for you to form the sentence because you know how a noun is used in a particular sentence or a verb is used in a sentence. Anyways, so the meaning is the natural state of rest for the body and mind. Okay, when we give a natural rest to our body and mind, we need to perform the action of closing our eyes and going to sleep. Okay, so there is one example. We have my cat's idea of a perfect day is to sleep, wake up, then again sleep. Then sleep again. Quite the expert in the field of napping. So it is just an example of a pet cat, and that cat is quite you know a sleep lover, basically. That's the example here. Now let's look at asleep. Asleep in parts of speech, in terms of parts of speech, is an adjective. Okay. So every parts of speech has uh, its own way to be used in a particular sentence. So what is the meaning of adjective? It is in the state of sleep, which means a particular status which tells us that the action is sleep. Okay, a state of sleep, a state of playing. What is he doing? He's playing. What is she doing? She is sleeping. So in other words, we can say already sleeping. Okay. Yesterday I slept at 9 a.m. and I woke up at 10 a.m. So the duration of the sleep is how much? 1 hour. 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So from 9 a.m. 1 to 9:59 a.m. This duration is called asleep. So we can say yesterday Arya was asleep between 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., which means it is a state of sleep. It's a status that someone is in sleep. Okay, that is asleep. So let's look at the example here. I have, the moment I start watching a boring movie, I instantly asleep. It's my secret power, which means that is what I do to get into sleep. Watch a boring movie, just like this, I'll get a sleep instead of taking a sleeping pill or something like that. So these are the two words with their meaning and parts of speech. Now, anything you want to ask, please ask. Otherwise, we'll go to the next slide. Anything to ask?
No, sir, I don't have anything.
All right, it's clear. Fine. Now, mnemonic, I didn't find anything great here, but yeah. So when you just think of sleep, it is the action. It's an action of taking rest, and asleep is a state of being in that rest. Okay, so that is asleep. So sleep is the action. Asleep is the description of being in that action. Okay. Now is the surprise. So now let's look at the phrases. And as I said, we express better when we use phrases, not just a word. Okay. So as I said, we got to incorporate more phrases to improvise our expressions to communicate. So a first phrase what I have on this slide is a good night's sleep. What does it mean? A restful and satisfying sleep during the night. Okay. If someone if someone had you know a very good sleep, a very peaceful sleep, so those people can use this particular phrase, and the phrase is a good night's sleep. Let's look at an example. After a long day at work, I need a good night's sleep to feel refreshed. Right? So what it means? It means all the day I have worked, I'm very tired. Okay. After a long day at work, which means what? Tired. What is the objective? Want to feel refreshed. So what is required? See, this particular phrase is communicating that a good night's sleep. It doesn't mean that you have to sleep only in night. This phrase can be used for any moment. I need a good night's sleep, which means it can be in afternoon also. Okay, so that's what it is. Some phrases are used as idioms, which means the meaning of idiom is the phrase does not have the exact meaning. For example, I have told this before also, I'm just repeating. If you are new to this particular concept, okay, he kicked the bucket. He kicked the bucket literally means what? There is a bucket, someone kicked it. That's a phrase. What is an idiom? It doesn't have the exact meaning of the phrase. Actual meaning is he kicked the bucket means he died, okay, or he's no more. So a good night's sleep can also be used as an idiom when someone sleeps in the afternoon, not in the not at night. So that's the first phrase which can be derived from the word sleep. Now, second phrase, in fact, we have lose sleep over something. This is also a phrase, lose sleep over something. So, what does it mean? To worry or be anxious about something, causing difficulty in sleeping. Okay. Or if we just avoid difficulty in sleeping, it is the main crux here is, let me highlight that. It means someone is in a state of being worried, anxious about something. Anxious about something means what? Something is disturbing or something is keeping us occupied because of which we can't sleep. Let's look at the example. I will not lose sleep over the small mistakes. I learn from them. So won't is the shortcut of will not. So I won't sleep over. So I won't sleep over small mistakes. So lose sleep over is the phrase. What it means? It means I'll not worry, I'll not be anxious about small mistakes. I'll not be anxious about small mistakes. This is what I'm okay. We can also change the sentence as I I lose sleep over small mistakes. So what it means, if I happen to commit any small mistake, okay, it affects my mind and I can't sleep. Right? I start worrying about it. I start overthinking about it. So lose sleep over something is a phrase to talk, to express when we become restful. Okay. If I don't finish my tasks on deadline, I lose my sleep over that task. Right? Like that. So that's a second phrase which we can use to communicate when we become restful or anxious or worried about something. Okay. Next, this is my favorite. Sleep like a baby. Now, I'm an adult. Can I sleep like a baby? What it means? It means to sleep very well and soundly. Okay, more or less we can say it is the opposite of the second phrase. To sleep like a baby is to sleep very well and soundly. Example, after a long day of hiking, I slept like a baby. Means what? I went for a hiking and I'm very tired because I was very tired. And when I came back and I attempted to get a sleep, what happened? I slept like a baby, which means I got a very sound sleep, right? That's one. So all of these three phrases, do you have anything to ask? Or shall I go ahead?
You can go ahead.
Yeah, all right, it's clear. Fantastic. Let's look at two more phrases here. In your sleep. So this phrase, when you say in your sleep, is to do something effortlessly or without much thought. Let's see. If something is very comfortable for you, something which has become part of your subconscious action, and you don't require any effort, it is just a natural thing to do, then you can use this particular phrase in sleep. So let's look at the example. She can solve math problems in her sleep. What does it mean? Does it mean that uh, uh, that someone goes in sleep and in the sleep in their dreams are solving problem? No. So here this phrase is like an idiom. All right, which means what? It is not about going in sleep and doing something. It means you don't require any effort. It is very easy for to do. I'll give you one more practical example for most of us across the globe. Okay, and that is I can I can speak my mother language in sleep, in my sleep. Which means what? It doesn't mean that I go into deep sleep and then my dream I start doing talking and disturb the people sleeping around me or you know near me. It means speaking using my mother language is very easy. So mother language is equal to mother tongue. It sounds better to say mother language than mother tongue. Okay. So here this phrase in your sleep is to do something effortlessly. Okay. Next, go to sleep on an issue. There is an issue and you go to sleep. So what is this meaning? It is to postpone or delay dealing with the problem. Yeah. Okay, so there is a situation, you need to act on it, but you are not acting on it. So a phrase can be used to express this, and that phrase is go to sleep on an issue. Let's look at the example. Let's not argue now. I will go to sleep on this issue and talk tomorrow, which means I don't want to discuss about this issue now. Yesterday, I gave you I gave you the theme of the day, but you went you went to sleep, but you went to sleep on the task or on the theme. Now, when I say you went to sleep on the theme, what it means? It means you did not do the task, you postponed it. All right. So you can use this phrase like that. So in place of go, you can say went also to express something happens in the past or something which happens regularly. Then you can say go, or for future also you can use go. I'll give you one last example on this. Yeah. Whenever my friends ask me to come out, I go to sleep on their plan. I go to sleep on their plan means what? I don't make any efforts to be part of that particular plan, right? So this is how we can use. So as I said, phrases are very important for us to express. We use many phrases. We don't use just individual word. We should always learn the words in form of phrases. Okay, so that's about sleep. You want to ask anything on this slide? Shall I go to the next slide? If yes, just say yes quickly so we can go to next slide. Or do ask what you want to ask.
Yes, sir, you can go ahead.
Fantastic. Let's look at asleep now. So now fall asleep is a phrase. What it means to enter the state of sleep. Okay, I gave you the example 9 a.m. I started to sleep, till 10 a.m. I slept. 9 1 a.m. is fell asleep. Yesterday, Arya fell asleep at 9 1 a.m., which means is in the state of sleep. Example, I usually fall asleep within minutes of lying down. Okay, I'll make it more specific. I usually fall asleep within 5 seconds of laying down, which means someone is on the bed, 5 seconds over, started to snoring. Snoring is this, making that sound, this snoring, which means asleep. Next phrase I have here is asleep at the switch. What does it mean? Not paying attention or being negligent. Someone who is not paying attention and trying to neglect something, then we can use this phrase, and that phrase is asleep at the switch. Let's look at the example here. The manager was asleep at the switch and missed an important deadline. What it means? It means the manager was not active. Because he was not active, what has happened? Or he was not proactive or not active or did not take proper action. What has happened? He missed the deadline, which means did not finish the task. So asleep at the switch is to neglect something. And it is not telling us exactly about someone sleeping. It could be that someone is awake, watching Instagram reels or playing some video game or gossiping with friends or family members or whatever it could be. It could be any kind of neglection. So here's asleep at the switch doesn't mean the action of sleeping. It means not taking action, not taking necessary actions. Next, so asleep on the job is more or less the same. So we can express the same thing as saying asleep on the job also. Not alert or attentive while working. He got in trouble for being asleep on the job. What it means, it doesn't mean that at the workplace someone is sleeping like this. It doesn't mean that. It means that person is not taking proper action. So both the phrases have similar usage. Okay, they are synonymous to each other. Okay, is this slide clear? Shall I go ahead with the next slide, or you want to ask anything?
It's clear, sir.
Okay, so that's it. So let's look at some synonyms of sleep, rest, slumber. So slumber could be a new word. You can make note of that. And then we have nap. Nap is not exactly, nap is to take a short sleep. It's a new word, nap is not a long duration sleep for hours together. Usually, nap is only for minutes. Okay, 10 to 15 minutes is a nap. In some of the corporates also give napping room, which means if someone is really very tired, stressful, they can go and take a nap, quick nap. Okay, so nap is not to go for hours of sleep for 2 hours, 3 hours, and nap is always in minutes, short duration. Snooze is also to get into sleep. Doze can also be used. Okay, he dozed off. What is the meaning of he dozed off? He's slept. Then now some antonyms. Wakefulness, active, vigilance, alertness, consciousness, all these are the opposite of sleep. So the other way to remember a word, I told you we should have a network of the words. So once this particular presentation is over, try to make note of the uh, surrounding words. I mean, close connected words. Now, some synonyms for asleep: unconscious, sleeping, napping, resting, dozing. All these are the state of doing that particular action. Antonyms: awake, alert, conscious, aware, vigilant. Okay, vigilant is to be alert. Okay, security guards are always vigilant. Okay, so that's about some words, and that's it. I don't have anything else. So, anything to ask? If no, then just listening or watching to the presentation is not important. Implementation part. So, you need to form your own practical sentence. So, as you know, I am not leaving you. I need you to give me two sentences with sleep, asleep. If any of the phrases you could was catchy to you and you like the phrase, you can use that phrase also. Okay. Otherwise, the assignment is try to focus on the phrases. Make note of the phrases and the meaning later. Okay. You will get the access of the recording anyways. And what else? Yes, the implementation part, writing your own sentence. Mnemonics, if you can get the mnemonic, if you think these are new words, I don't think we need mnemonics for this because they're common words. Asleep could be a new word for you, so you can think of a proper mnemonic of it. So, so please submit the task in the VIP community, and others who are going to watch this later, if you and so you can use the social media handle wherever you're watching this, and on that you can just submit your sentence there in the comment section. It will give me a great motivation to keep adding new words. Okay, so that's it for the day. So I'll wait for you now, Sampurna, for me to give me the sentences. I'll give you some time.